The Dragons close up their 3-game homestand Saturday night against the Saugerties Stallions. They look to avoid losing for the 7th time in 8 games. The top of the first was rough for the Dragons as the Stallions scored 4 runs on 6 hits. However, starting in the second inning, the Dragons would say,
"Enough is enough!"
Evan St. Clair would strike out, but it would be a drop third strike, and he would beat out the throw at home, and so would Carson Dunkel, and the Dragons would get their first run. In the third inning, the Dragons were not done. Brian Hart would hit one into right field, and then the right fielder would have trouble fielding it, which would allow Hart to race for a double. The next batter, Seamus Connolly Jr., would smoke one high and deep to left field, and the ball would bounce off the wall and score Hart to make it 4-2 while giving Connolly a double. Later in the inning, with the bases loaded, Evan St. Clair would ground to second. The Stallions would get the force, but St. Clair would be safe at first, while Connolly would score to cut the lead to 1. Also later, Sean Bergeron would steal second and beat out the throw, which would allow Joe Imbigdulia to score home and score to tie the game at 4. In the fourth, the Dragons were still not done. With the bases loaded, Sean Bergeron would fly out to right, which would allow Brian Hart to come home to take the 5-4 lead and give Bergeron the sac fly. Later, Evan St. Clair would hit one into right field, which would score a run, and then the right fielder again has trouble fielding it, and St. Clair would turn that into a double and make it 6-4 for the Dragons. Unfortunately, like the last 3 games, the Dragons pitching had a very tough time from the 6th inning onward. The Stallions would score once in the 6th, and then score 8 runs in the 7th, and they would now lead 13-6. However, the Dragons would not go down lightly. In the bottom of the 7th, Evan St. Clair would hit a ball high and deep to center field that would hit off the wall, and St. Clair would be in for a double. St. Clair would later score on a sac fly to make it 13-7. Later in the inning, the pitch would get behind the catcher, and Hunter Tabb would cross home plate to cut the lead to 5. Later, Brian Hart would get another double as he would hit one off of the right field wall, which would bring home another run to make it 13-9. The Stallions would score 2 in the 8th to make it 15-9. We go to the bottom of the 9th, where the Dragons would attempt to put a comeback together. With the bases loaded and 2 outs, Sean Bergeron would ground one that would go off the shortstop's glove to score Condo to make it 15-10. Next, Evan St. Clair would single up the middle, and this would bring home another run, which would make it 15-11, and now Hunter Tabb would be the tying run up at the plate. However, he would pop out to foul territory, and that would end the game. The final score would be 15-11. The Dragons fall to 7-13, and the Stallions improve to 13-9, and have now won 6 straight games. The Dragons have lost 3 in a row and 7 out of their last 8. The Stallions would finish with 14 hits, and the Dragons would finish with 18. Brian Hart has had a terrific game, going 5 for 5, and was a home run shy of hitting for the cycle, while Evan St. Clair went 4 for 5 and had 3 RBIs. Anyway, thank you for watching this video, and like always, be sure to subscribe for more upcoming videos. Thank you.